Hi, my name is Dr. Greg Bliss, and I'm sharing with you today the question of teaching to the right standard. Now, we've been told and we've discussed as educators the question of standard-based education. And the idea there is that the teaching and the curriculum is designed around a particular standard or set of standards, which then allows us to create the right curriculum and teach to a specific goal. Now, we've heard about this in terms of Common Core and the idea that we come up with a common set of standards and then let the teachers adapt that to the particular situation the students are in. And then all the students can be tested against the same criteria. And we also know that there's the idea that there's a standard-based criteria which is tested to, which we call standardized testing. That standardized testing is usually based on a national average, and then you have your percentile groupings within that national average. Our curriculum is designed around those standards, and so it is. The question is that the correct standard from a biblical point of view? And I would offer that it is not the correct standard, that the very construct of norm-based educational practices that cover the entirety of the culture is working off of a philosophical error. Follow me, if you will, for a moment. If you look at my fingernails, and pretend that my fingers represent a bell curve. My fingernails basically represent the center of the bell curve. That's basically where the norm of most students would reside. And then we have to the far side, we have those who are a little bit more accomplished and those who are less accomplished, or those who have greater ability or those who have a lesser ability. And we teach towards the norm. That's norm-based. And then we create percentiles and deviations off of that norm. Now, is that correct philosophically to the Christian view of man created in the image of God? I would offer it is not. I would offer that each individual is first and foremost to be seen as an individual created in the image of God. Now, what does that mean? It doesn't mean that there isn't a reality to this process. It doesn't mean that achievement scores are to be disregarded. But it's to say that the complexity of the human experience is greater than what can be assessed by standardized norm testing. And so we offer an alternative. We suggest that there are 4 criteria by which an assessment should take place. And these 4 criteria are the achievement, which can be set up against a norm-based standard, but also the ability. What traditionally has been called IQ, but is today oftentimes looked as cognitive ability, needs to be assessed to determine what is the best curriculum for the student. And along with this comes also the degree of support that the child has. One child with the same level of achievement and possibly the same level of aptitude may have a very different environment of support. So if the parents are able to give the child the support that they need, they may be able to spend 3 or 4 hours a day doing homework. If they're not able to give the child that support and the child doesn't have a context for that support, the child's not going to be able to proceed with the same pace that another child who has that support would have. And then finally, besides support, besides abilities, besides the achievement, we also measure for a 4th criteria, which is the goal. Now, the goal of education is usually assumed to be entering into college, and we're trying to make our students college ready. But that isn't always the appropriate goal. Some students aren't appropriately to be in college because A, that's not what they want to do, and B, it might not be an appropriate match for their gifting. So we categorize students according to their desires and their parents, guardians, and the academic counseling that they have to determine goals and then to help those goals shape their curriculum. And as anybody would know, that a college level or university level high school curriculum might be different than somebody who's wanting to go to junior college or somebody who's wanting to go to a technical school. The different type of courses that are needed. For instance, foreign languages. It's not to say that foreign languages aren't a good idea, but just maybe not appropriate if a student has no interest in it. So we use those 4 criteria to determine what is the best curriculum for the child. And then we use a module-based curriculum system, which allows the individual student's personal educational plan to be formulated around their assessments. Now, this is another process that we can discuss in detail and how we go about doing that. But the first question that needs to be asked is, are we teaching to the correct standard? And if we're not teaching to the correct standard, what are we going to do about it? Thank you for joining me in this short introduction for our InShape curriculum. And I look forward to having more time with you to develop this further in our future videos. Thank you.